Hello again and welcome back to the channel. So, have you ever wondered perhaps how many cruises you may have done? Because a lot of people, they tend to think that if they go on a cruise for 2 weeks, that they've done one cruise. Well, to a degree that may be right, but if you think about it, it's actually 2 cruises. Because each cruise that you do on whatever ship it is, whether it's Marella Explorer 1, 2, Discovery 1 and 2, Voyager, if it's on a P&O ship, if it's on a Cunard ship, if it's on a Saga cruise, a Celebrity cruise, Virgin one, a Disney cruise, whichever ship you go on, each cruise that you do has got a name for its itinerary. So I'll give you an example. If you go on Explorer 2 from Dubrovnik, and let's say you've booked Sail 3 Seas for the first week and Adriatic Affair for the second week, then if you work that out, that's 2 weeks. You might think, well, we've done one cruise for the fortnight, right? Because you've been on one ship, okay? But actually, if you work it out, you've got 2 different itineraries. Sail 3 Seas and Adriatic Affair, or Adriatic Delights, whichever order you do it in. Well, if you work it out in your mind, for the Sail 3 Seas, which I've done myself a couple of times, on that cruise, you generally go south from Dubrovnik. So you go from Dubrovnik, and then you have a day at sea. You then go to Malta. You might go across to Italy. Then you sail up to Corfu. Then you might go to Montenegro, and then you go back to Dubrovnik, right? And that's one cruise, because you've done that week down that end of the Adriatic. Then the second week, you leave Dubrovnik again, and you generally go to Kotor, which is beautiful. And a lot of people tend to get up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning for the sailing, which is amazing. But the sail out is just as good if you don't want to get up early. And then obviously you generally have a day at sea. You head up to Zadar. Then you might go down to Trieste, which means you do trips to Venice. Or you can go to Koper in Slovenia. Then you generally go down to Italy, to Ancona. And then you generally go back across to Split, and then you go down to Dubrovnik, and then obviously you fly back home, or you stay in a hotel if you've booked a cruise and stay. So if you work it out, you do those 2 weeks, that's 2 cruises. If you cruise for a month, that's 4 cruises, because it's 4 itineraries, right? So if you go on several ships, so you might say, oh, I've been on 5 Marella ships, and I've done 5 cruises, right? Because you've been on 5 cruise ships. But if you've done a fortnight on each of those ships, that's actually 10 cruises, isn't it? Because 5 twos are 10. So 5 cruise ships, 2 weeks on each one is 10 cruises. So you get the point. So that's how you can build up as many cruises that you've perhaps done in your life. So you might say, you might meet somebody on board, and I've done this in one of the restaurants, and they start saying, how many cruises have you done? And they say, oh, I've done 20. I've done 30, or I've done 50, or I've only done 5. How they've done that is because they've done a fortnight or more on more than one ship, or they may have cruised on the same ship every time because they like it, because of the atmosphere, because of the staff, because of the entertainment, because it is the crew that make the cruise, and you make the cruise how you want it to be. There's no set rules in what time you have dinner, or what time you go for a drink, or what time you go to a show on board, or to go to the shops or whatever. That cruise ship is your home for the fortnight or however long you're on board. So you take advantage of it, of all the facilities, swimming pools, jacuzzi tubs, everything. Because most of the cruise ships have adult-only pools if there's cruises with kids on. But I know they're on about making Discovery an adult-only ship, because at the moment it's just Explorer 2. But Discovery is going to be an adult-only ship either from this year or next year. So, but there are adult-only sections on the other ships where kids are on board, if you want to escape that. But like I say, that's how you work out how many cruises you've done. And I've counted mine, and I've done about 14, 15, maybe even a bit more. I'll get back to you on that, but I know it's more than 12. Because obviously I've been on the Spirit 5 times. Okay, I've done a week, I've done 2 weeks, I've done a week. I've been on with my cousin, I've been on with my mum and dad, and I've been on my own. So, and obviously I did the Celebration, I did 2 weeks on that. On Morella Dream, I did a week on that. I went on Discovery 1, I did 2 weeks on that. And I'm going on Discovery 2 in March, and that's a week. And obviously I did 2 weeks on Explorer 2. So I've done all the Morella ships actually, apart from Discovery 2, which I'm going to do in March. I haven't been on Explorer 1, and I haven't been on Voyager. But I've been on Morella Dream, which is sadly gone, Celebration, which is sadly gone, and of course the Spirit was my first ship with Morella in 2016. So yeah, I've done more than 12 cruises because I've done 2 weeks, 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 week, etc. So that's how you work out how many cruises that you've done. So it's always a good idea, because occasionally in the cruise news they put in about inviting guests that have done quite a few cruises, and the captain usually presents a certificate or a bottle of wine to ones that have done a lot. And it's nice because you get to meet different people. And I remember going on one on Discovery, and I think somebody in there had done about 70 cruises, and they got a certificate and a bottle of wine. They'd done the most cruises out of everybody on board. But it's because they'd done 2 weeks, 1 week, 3 weeks, etc. And that's how you work it out. So when they asked us how many we'd done, at that point I think we'd only done about 4 or 5. So yeah, so obviously it's nice to go to those things on board and obviously hear other people's experiences. So that's how you work out how many cruises you've done. So I hope this has been helpful. It's at CarlSmith25 to subscribe, and I'm going to do another video either soon or in the next couple of days regarding the cruise news, and also to advise on the situation if you were to be late getting back to the ship and the dangers of doing that as well. So I'll do another video on that in the coming days and weeks. But for now, it's at CarlSmith25 to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.